Viewer discretion is advised.
Shut up and sit down.
Battle Rapper of the Year. Please welcome to the stage the very funny Angelo Vescio.
See, that's kind of like this match. It said it was even, but really the facts is who dumps their juices, you punky Brewster shoes. What I'm saying is that they mismatched us. Look. Said we had similar styles, so this matchup had to happen. What we have in common is that I am both of our favorite battle rappers.
Welcome to Sarge Approved. It's me, Sarge, and I'm here with Frenzy, the beautiful Frenzy. How's it going, Frenzy?
Super good. What's happening?
Well, we're chilling at, Bunker Studios here tonight.
Yep.
And our guest this evening is Angelo Vescio.
The Vesh.
Hey.
How's it going?
How's it going?
Good. Everything's great. I'm happy to be on.
We're happy to have you.
Uh-huh. You are affectionately known as the Vesh in certain circles. Do you go by the Vesh when you're doing comedy, or is that mostly your rap battle handle?
That's pretty much my rap battle. That was a big decision to make. Was I started as a battle rapper, and I said, I asked people, should I be the Vesh as a comedian? And I decided to just go with my regular name as a comedian. Kind of, I don't know, keep them separate, but I kind of wish I would have taken the Vesh as my name. But like that's what you're saying a lot. If you have like a kind of a cool creative name as a stage name for a comedian, you got to be like really cool. So I was like, I don't know, I would just be myself right now. The Vesh is like an alter ego battle rapper who's like a badass gangster, but me, I'm like, so I had to like kind of separate them a little bit. But I kind of feel like I'm like Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I'm Angelo the Vescio. That's my goal, I think.
So break it down for our listeners a little bit here. Angelo Vescio is a comedian. Mm-hmm. What's the best way to describe it? I've been going with comedic rap roast battler. How do you?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Because it's definitely comedic in nature. You're definitely doing comedy, but in your roasting the guy you're playing, but it's like a rap battle too. So.
Yeah, I would say it's my stage act as a stand-up comedian. I incorporate a lot of like rap songs into it. I tell a lot of stuff about just being a dad and being myself everyday life, but I also incorporate a lot of rap, and I talk about battle rapping. And as a battle rapper, I'm pretty much all jokes. I've tried to be a little tough as a battle rapper. It doesn't work. Nobody believes me. So I just keep being as goofy as I can be, and I just roast the other person. Really, to me, it's just a roast.
Yeah. And
I really have fun thinking of jokes of other people. And this is my secret. I shouldn't be giving it up, but if you make fun of somebody and it rhymes, it's like 10 times funnier. I don't know what it is. I don't want everybody knowing that because it's a good secret, but just any insult or thing you say to somebody, if it rhymes, it's just way better. That's what I figured out.
Yeah, but that's kind of obvious. I've seen I've been watching some of your battles on YouTube, and there's some where the guys you're going against, they're roasting you, they're slinging out insults, but they don't rhyme, and it just doesn't have that same punch.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you kind of miss the joke too. You miss what he said, exactly how he was insulting you if it doesn't rhyme, because that rhyme is where it's like a punchline.
Right, or if they're not enunciating good too, like sometimes you can't understand what they're saying.
You gotta enunciate.
Like Carter is a good example of that. Do you remember that one? Carter, I can't remember his last name.
Carter Deems, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's his style. It's very like kind of awkward, and he's tightened it up quite a bit since then.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
so awkward.
If you can, it's really, and his stand-up is really awkward. I love the guy. I think he's going to be a really big star in anything. He's just got this like charisma about him. Mm-hmm. And he's been starting to do stand-up a little bit, and I've seen a little bit of it. And he'll work his way through like the beginning of being a stand-up comic. We all do. I think he's only been doing it for a little while, but he's definitely got I think both of us have come a long way since our battle. That was back in Atlanta years ago. But yeah, if you can make it rhyme and you can enunciate it, I mean, comedians finding that punchline, I mean, everything leads to it. And if the punchline is the end of the rhyme, I mean, that just gives more impact to it. It just gives it heavier weight. So it's got to be really funny, but so there's a lot on the line, because if you say it and it's not funny, then it's just sitting there like a big, and it feels really awkward when no one's laughing or reacting.
Yeah.
So that happens sometimes too.
That Carter guy, that video that we were talking about, what's it called? How would people find that on YouTube? Because that's a really good one.
What was it called? It was I think it was like Jokes Over Bars, and it was King of the Dot. King of the Dot is a big battle league out of Canada, and they had an event, I think, in California, and then they had a comedy show to coincide. There's been quite a few battle rappers starting to get into comedy, and he was on there, and I think a set of his got put up. So I can't remember. I think it's Jokes Over Bars, Carter Deems. I'm sure if you just look up Carter Deems stand-up, you'll find it.
Because I could see how his awkwardness would help him on stage doing stand-up comedy. But it was just funny because he's obviously a very talented writer. Like the jokes, the insults he was coming up with were really, really good. But he was so awkward.
Yeah.
The delivery was it was like torture. I was like, oh my God, I felt so awkward for the guy.
But he writes really well, though.
That's
like,
the thing.
he said some funny
amazing.
shit. Yeah.
It's funny as fuck.
Well, his performance has come up a lot since then. I think his presence, but he's still that what do you say? Lovingly awkward? You just lovable. It's just like something you just you feel for the guy and you like him, and it's so many other battle rappers have such a high bar that they have to live up to in, I don't know, believability and just energy and charisma and personality, where he just has this thing where you're like, oh, I don't know, it's just something about him. He's got this thing. And that's something you can't, you just got to have that,
Well, he's got that underdog kind of vibe to him.
Yeah. Well, plus he's probably done more too. It'll be 7 years since that was done in April. Yeah.
See, and you come in.
He's a pretty big star as a battle rapper now. Yeah. He's a pretty big deal.
You come in.
Yeah, definitely.
You definitely can't ever really play that underdog card. You come in, you just have you look like you have this air of confidence, and like you're just expecting you're gonna win every time.
Well, yeah, I think I come in with I'm confident about my material. I mean, I'm both confident, but inside I think I do a good job of camouflaging the nervousness, because as a comedian, I can work on a joke or a set night after night, and I can cultivate it, and I can work on it and change the wording and just perfect it until it's ready to go. As a battle rapper, that material, that's pretty much the first time you heard it is the first time I said it, and that's it. I mean, I work on it, memorize it, and think about it, and I add some freestyles in the middle of it, but I hope it hits, because I can't test it out in front of a bunch of audiences. It's got to hit that one time. So that's the difference. Mm-hmm. So when I do the battles, I try to do it as confidently as possible, because that's really important, and that just sells it a lot better. But it's nerve-wracking, because sometimes if you see me do a joke and it doesn't get a big laugh, I'll just keep rapping, and it looks like I'm like, oh, that wasn't... He didn't mean to get a laugh there, but in my heart, I'm like, oh, I thought that was funny. I worked on that one really hard.
You see the lip quiver just a little bit every time.
Yeah, just a little bit, like a little tear I just wipe away, and then it's just kind of like as a comedian, if you're telling jokes and you're doing well, and then you tell one that doesn't do well, you gotta, hey, you gotta do that Johnny Carson, ooh, and say something that you just gotta keep it moving, and it's there's a technique to it. It's very similar to stand up, but it's very different too. I mean, I think the stage presence is what's helped me most in both of them. Just being confident and selling what you're delivering.
Yeah, let me get this out of the way, because I almost forgot. Let's pause a second and hear a word from our sponsor.
Shut up!
Hey, this is Frenzy here to talk to you about National Survival Center. This is the place where you can purchase all of your outdoor camping gear and supplies, survival kits, disaster preparedness supplies, bug out bags, and even survival food. all with some of the lowest prices on the internet and free shipping on almost everything. You can depend on National Survival Center to provide you with the highest quality gear paired with superior customer service. And when you purchase your gear from National Survival Center, you're not only getting a great product, but you're receiving products that have all been hand tested to ensure that they'll be reliable, durable, and that they'll function properly. So whether you need some gear for a family camping adventure, or maybe you want to stock up for the zombie apocalypse, National Survival Center can provide you with the quality products you're looking for. You can find them at www.nationalsurvivalcenter.com or www.survivedon'tsuffer.com. Either way, don't suffer, make sure you survive.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable.
For the viewers on YouTube.
Who the fuck got bars? You better allow me to go first. Fuck you. Check this out.
Homie, just stop.
Welcome back to Sergeant Proved. We're here with Frenzy and Angelo Vescio, the Vesh.
We're back.
All right, comedian, comedic, battle, rap, roast, rapper. How long you been doing this? How long you been in the whole comedy scene and the rap battle scene? Bring us
Well,
back to
I've
the
been doing
beginning.
comedy. Yeah, well, I've been doing comedy 6 years, but battling. I've been doing battling since early college. Probably, I graduated high school in 2000, so 2001, I started doing rap battles. I mean, you do rap battles even in high school and at house parties and in the neighborhood. You would just do those. But then when I started going to open mics and there would be you just challenge people, and then there started being these rap battle tournaments, like freestyle tournaments. I started doing that probably, I don't know, 2000, 2001, 2002. And when I was doing it, I started doing these freestyle tournaments, and I remember I was trying to break into the local Minneapolis, Twin Cities hip-hop scene, and it was pretty tight-knit, and I was this new guy just trying to freestyle and diss people. And nobody really knew who I was, so I didn't have, I would do okay, but I wasn't, enough to get to the next level. Well, I kept losing, and I was like, man, I think I'm beating these guys. I just don't know anybody. It's all their friends who are clapping for them, so I gotta come even better. And I remember there was this battle. It was at the Loring Pasta Bar that's in Dinkytown, and they had these epic battles once a month, one Monday a month, and it was this legendary battle. It eventually became this thing that everybody in the scene had to go to. It was the place to be on a Monday night. Well, I would go there, and for a while it was nobody there, hardly, and I was losing to these guys. I was like, man, I should not be losing to these people. And then I just let that fuel my motivation and determination. And then I went there one Monday, and the place is packed. It's the line is around the block. It's crazy. And I signed up for the battle, and the reason it was around the block was because that Friday, 8 Mile had just come out.
Oh, shit.
And that Monday, I won the entire battle, and that's when it became they were who is the Vesh? And I won the very next Monday of the next month, and then for years, for a couple of years, I was either second or first or the top 4. I was always up there, and it was really cool. Part of my life was the claim to fame, because people would they'd say, okay, right now our battle is this person versus this person, and on deck we need this guy and Vesh, and people would cheer because they wanted to see me up there. So it was a really cool time. People stopped me on campus. This is when I was at the U of M, and I remember a girl ran out of Tony Roma's in the Mall of America. Was oh my God, you're the guy who raps at the place. And my buddy's oh, I can't believe that just happened. It was a really cool time for me. So that was when it all really started. And then I started battling more places. That's why I went to Cincinnati a couple times. One for Battle for Midwest Supremacy. I also went there for Scribble Jam, which is they don't have Scribble Jam anymore. It was this huge underground hip hop festival, and it was the Super Bowl of rap battles. I mean, it was the best rap essentially in the world at that point.
Cool.
So this
and
is
I got to participate. I didn't win, but
so this is like straight up 8 Mile style rap battles with a beat, and you just completely ad-libbing, right?
yes, yeah. I mean, it was like watching. This is really cheesy, and like watching 8 Mile, I was like, oh my god, that's my life. Like I'm not like
I am Marshall
like
Mathers.
I'm not in a trailer or anything, but I was like, this is what I do. Like this is it, and it was kind of a crazy experience to watch that movie because that's what it was. And that once that movie came out, I mean, there was rap battles and freestyles before that, and they would happen. But when that movie came out, it became the big hot thing, and there was battles all the time. I would say I made a few $1,000s just adding up $100 here, $200 there, in doing rap battles just around the Minnesota and the Midwest.
That's cool.
Just like going around and doing them. And this is like no guarantee. Like I'm not getting paid to do them unless I win first or second place or so I won like a decent amount of money doing these freestyle rap battles and I was always like kind of a favored guy to win when I got in them because they were like, oh, the Vesh is in this one, dang, like so it was pretty crazy. It was a cool time when I was in college. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it for a long time. Like the freestyle era, that era's kind of come and gone. They don't really do freestyle battles anymore, so it's kind of sad. There's just not a lot of rappers that can do that for as long as consistently. The written battles that I do now are a little bit more mainstream.
Cool. Very cool. Hey, side note, back to Luring Pasta Bar. Did you know who used to live there before it was Luring Pasta Bar? Minnesota trivia for you.
Who used to live at that space? Was it Bob Dylan?
It was Bob Dylan.
It was, huh?
Yeah, there was a
Cool,
drugstore there, and then he lived up above it. Nice.
Oh, that's what that 4th Street Dreamin' is, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like hearing those Bob Dylan stories.
Yeah, he's a crazy dude. So there was the Scribble Jam Festival in Cincinnati that you said that's no longer, but then there's a Twin Cities Urban Music Awards that you won last year.
Oh shit! You won an award?
I won an award with like a nice little like certificate and a trophy. I was very happy. I actually didn't get to accept my award. I was really, really sad because I did. I went to the award ceremony. It was at the Caboose, and I was actually doing a show that night at Running Aces Casino.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing this. I do my set, and I say, I think we're going to get there in time. It's kind of far out of the city, but my buddy Chris Maddock and I was hosting. He was the feature. We run back. I go, hey, do you want to go to this award ceremony? I can drop you off if you want. And he goes, no, I'll come with you. So I go there, and I see the set list. I run in there as fast as I can. I like speed to get to the city, and I see, I go, okay, we're like 10 minutes early from when they're going to announce my category, and I don't know if I'm the winner or not. And I go up there, and I hear them talking, and they're talking about these different acts, and another music act comes on. I look at the set list. I'm like, oh, it's like they passed me up or something. So then I asked, this like goofy looking white dude in a sweater. I just got done doing a casino gig, and I asked this group of dudes, like thug looking dudes, I go, hey, you guys, did they do Battle Rapper of the Year already? And this guy's like, no, man. And he goes, and I was like, oh, okay. So he goes, yeah, man, yeah, they did. And then this other guy said, I was like, who won? And he goes, I don't know, man, some Vesh or some shit. And I grabbed this guy, I'm like, it's me. I'm the Vesh. I did it. Like, give him a high five, and they like kind of look at me like I'm crazy, and then they're like, oh, congratulations. So then I go in the back and I talk to the host. I go, hey, man, you gave my award. I wasn't here. But it says right now is when you're giving the award, so I'm on time. And they were like, oh, man, we're ahead of schedule, man, sorry. And then they handed it to me. So I didn't even get to, like, thank anybody. But it was still really cool. It was a really big honor for me to get that award.
That's awesome. Did you have a speech on a little index card prepared, just in case?
No, I didn't. I was actually, I was like, should I start, like, I think I was going to do, like, some jokes or something. I think I had, like, a couple things. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
But because I was doing that other show, and I was like, I don't know if I'll win. I didn't, like, have a lot of people. Plus, my wife was out of town. She would have probably come, but she was actually out of town with the kids at my in-laws. So I was like, no one's probably going to know me, so otherwise I'd, like, thank people. But it was too bad. I really wanted to go up and accept it. But the fact that I got it, it was really big. That was really pretty cool. So I was excited about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Nice.
And so the rap battle roast has really kind of, once the actual, the rap battle scene kind of died out, this whole new scene is emerging, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I when I was doing the freestyle battles and it started to die out, I remember these guys approaching me about doing a rap battle league that was written, but it was almost like a WWF where like you would write with your opponent and like make fun of each other. You'd wear certain things and like it was like all kind of rigged a little bit. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. Well, then years later, it's not what it is now. Like you come in with your material and the other guy comes with their material and you have your prep time and you just do what you do. But that's the new acapella written battle league is kind of what is the new mainstream these days. I was at work. I worked at this internet company. They eventually fired me, but probably because I was watching rap battles all day. And I started watching rap battles. I started watching it because I hadn't done it in a while. And I was like getting married, and I was like in this cubicle, and I was like, I kind of want to do this again. I was watching these battles, and I was like, this is kind of different. Maybe I should try it. And I see they had tryouts for this league called Grind Time, which is a really big rap battle league for a while. It kind of went defunct, I guess, a few years ago. But I said, I'm going to do these Minnesota tryouts, and if I suck, I'll just not do it because maybe I lost it. I don't know. But if I suck, I just won't do it again, and I'll be a normal guy. I don't know. And then I did it, and I did really well, and then I just kind of hit the ground running with it, and it was really fun. And then as I did that for a little while, people were like, you're really funny. You should probably try stand-up. And I was like, I don't know. Oh, sure, I'll try it. And that's kind of what led to where I am now.
That's awesome. See, I watched a couple of the battles. The one with Carter Deems, that was the brand that you were talking about that used to be, what was it called again? Sorry.
Grind Times?
That was Grind
Times, yeah. I assumed, just based on watching, that was, I think, the first one that I watched, I assumed that you had already been doing comedy, and that was, the rap battle thing was second. So I think it was a good choice to do both. I mean, you're obviously funny.
Yeah, I kick myself for not trying comedy earlier because comedy, being a comedian, a lot of it is just paying your dues and working it out on stage and doing it for a long time and just getting better. And I look back on it now and I'm like, why didn't I just do that years ago? Or, as now I'm married and I have 2 kids, it's way harder to get out as much as I'd like to work on my act. I wish I would have done that more when I was like single, because then you go out every single night and work on your jokes. And when my wife and I first got married, she was going to business school, and I remember I would drop her off. We'd ride together to work, and she would go to business school until like 9, and I would like do stuff in the city because we lived way out in like St. Michael, which is really far from the city. So I would like stay in the city doing things. And I was like, Monday night, I could have been at Acme Comedy Club doing the open mic. But instead, I wasn't into comedy at that point. But you look back and you say, man, I wish I would have started this sooner. Because I started battle rapping like right after high school. I mean, in high school and right after.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe that was the right thing to do, is doing it now versus later. I mean, you could be like living somewhere random and drinking every night and going crazy, and you never would have met your wife, and that would have been sad.
That's very true. I probably would have been this guy who's just burnt out and doing comedy clubs or open mics and just been like, ugh, and then I mean, everything happens for a reason. I think you do it at the right time, and
yeah.
I have a lot more that I can talk about on stage now because of the life I've lived so far and am living. So I think it's all working out at the right time, and you're never too old to do anything. So
no,
I'm excited for how far I've come in the last 6 years of stand-up. I've gotten pretty far in terms of like how much better I've gotten, how many shows I've done. So it's exciting. There's a lot of things going on right now in my career, and it's a cool time. It's really, really fun and exciting. And every month there's different opportunities that pop up. So I'm really enjoying it right now.
Yay.
So how often are you doing these rap battles, and how often are you getting on stage?
I get on stage probably a couple times a week, and I'm probably doing shows, like actual gigs, like booked paid gigs once a week. Otherwise, I doing open mics or showcases or whatever I'm doing throughout the city. That's every week I'm doing that. Like on Friday, I have a show in La Crosse. It's at Piggy's Restaurant in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Next Saturday, I'll be at Sauk Rapids.
Benton Station.
Oh, yeah.
Benton Station, yep.
Yep.
That'll be a lot of fun.
We have somebody else.
Frank Roche.
Frank Roche, yeah. He's doing Benton Station. What is that, next month?
I think it's this month.
He's going to be on. I actually used to work at Benton Station.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was the limo driver.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They called me Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve.
I heard Benton Station going to be a rough crowd. That's what they told me. I said, I'll take that challenge. It'll be fun. I might be working with Frank Roche. I don't know.
That's why they used to have a limo to like ship people around.
Yeah,
they're super fancy.
They had like a Greyhound bus and two like shuttle buses and like 2 or 3 limousines, and I drove them all except the Greyhound bus.
Wow.
Yeah. Just they used it as like a cab service to bring people to and from the bar, and
rent them out
and things like that for parties and whatnot. And I drove those things. Made really good money doing it, but after I completely submerged one of the limousines, that's where I got the Scuba Steve nickname.
That was probably for
really. Wow.
I sunk a limousine.
You gotta get way in there to get a limousine all the way.
Right?
I mean, you gotta. You were halfway across the lake or whatever it was.
Yeah, I didn't even get fired for that either. It was amazing.
That's nice. I mean, it's a good gig. That's a good place.
They appreciated you as an employee.
It's a fun place.
Yeah.
It's a fun place. I don't know what the crowds are like for the comedians. I've never actually went back and watched any of the shows when they were going on. I was usually in the front area, the main bar area. But have you been to Benton Station before?
I am not. No, this will be my first time.
Yeah, they have like there's like 2 sections of the building. The back section where they have the concerts, like the bands and the comedy shows and stuff like that. And I didn't go back there all the time because I was usually up front or driving people to and fro. But
yeah,
it's a cool place.
Yeah, I'm excited for the show. I heard it's a lot of fun. It's kind of a rowdy crowd, but that's always that keeps it interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. But going back to I'm staying consistent on shows and working on my new material, doing shows throughout the week, leading up to the weekends, and rap battles. I usually do those every couple months. They book out the events. I'm kind of moving out of Minnesota for a little while of doing battles because I actually have a battle booked March 25th in Des Moines, Iowa. It's for this rap battle league. It's like a no coast. We're doing this no coast. Get you some is the battle league out of Iowa.
Nice.
Get you some, and they take themselves very seriously. So we're gonna go the no coast guys. That's the rap battle league that I primarily battle for. I mean, you can battle for all the leagues if you want, but that's like my home league, I guess you would say. Mm-hmm. We're going to Iowa to battle the Get You Some posse, I guess. And that's going to be fun. I'm battling a guy named Mac Patty, so that'll be really cool. It's in Des Moines. That's his name, Mac Patty.
Mac Patty.
It's going to be great.
It's pretty funny.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I love Des Moines. I went to school my freshman year college at the University of Iowa, so I love Iowa. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm working on booking a battle in April with this league called Don't Flop, which is a London, actually based out of the UK league, but they have a United States. Yeah, so I want to do well in that one. That'll be my first time in Don't Flop. There's Don't Flop USA. That's what it'd be in like Atlanta. So we're working on. They're just figuring out the venue. I can't say who they want me to battle, but they'll hopefully, if we get the venue all set up or they get the event all taken care of, I'll be able to fly down there and do that. And then in late April, I'll be battling in Columbia, Missouri. And that's where No Coast actually started. That's on the campus of University of Missouri.
Okay.
So I have 3 out-of-town battles booked. I don't know how many more I'll do the rest of the year, but I'm looking to travel a little bit more. I've got some communication with the King of the Dot people. They're like the really big rap battle league out of Canada now in the U.S. The other big one is the URL, which is the Ultimate Rap League, but they're like gangster rappers. They're probably never gonna want my dorky ass, but that's okay.
You could be the token white guy.
You know, they do have a couple. They have a couple of token white guys. They do. Yeah.
Somebody's got it.
But I guess they must be like crazy psychos or something. Like, I'm gonna kill you. I mean, I'm like, like
I had to stab 14 people just to get into this league.
You really do. You really got to stab that many people to get in there. It's pretty crazy.
Have
so
you?
It's going to be a big year.
Sorry. Speaking of Canada, have you heard of the song "Wanna Go for a Rip" on YouTube or watch the video? "Wanna Go for a Rip" R.I.P.
No.
You'll have to watch it sometime. It's like these Canadian dudes, and they kind of rap, but not really. But they have like the most awesome, just weird video ever, and it's basically based about people that live in Canada. So they have like the total accent. They like throw someone in a snowbank, and like they say, "Oh, don't you know?" Like it's super like Fargo-esque accent, but it's pretty funny.
We get a lot of flack from our guests on this show about our Minnesotan accents.
You do have very Minnesotan accents for sure. But that's okay. I do too.
Not really.
So these rap battles, how is it usually tournament style, and then is there a prize money at the end? How does that usually work?
Well, they used to be tournament style in the freestyle era, where it was just like brackets until you get to the end. Now it's pretty much just matchups. They try to match up people that they think is going to be a good matchup, like whether their styles are very similar, whether they're completely different. That's now what they do. So they make these announcements like it's almost like wrestling, professional wrestling, or like boxing, where you go, "Oh, I want to see them go after each other." Like what I hope happens when I match up with somebody is that they go, "Oh, I can't wait to hear what the Vesh says about this person." That's going to be really funny. That's my goal, is that people get excited about the jokes that I'm going to make about the other person. So that's kind of how they do it now. We actually did a tournament recently with the radio station, 95.3, the hip-hop station in the Twin Cities, where we had a tournament for No Coast, and we did 3 separate events, and they led up to the finals. It was right the night before the election, and I actually won. I had to win 3 big battles to get $1,000 I won from the radio station. That was just last November. So I was the No Coast 95.3 Go Vote Minnesota battle champ of Minnesota. So that was another award that I got last year. I was really excited about.
And people voted on that? You had people that voted on that?
Well, no, it wasn't a vote. I mean, they voted they had judges voted who won, but the Go Vote thing the events were all with this like Go Vote campaign about registering people to vote for president whatever election. So, so that's why it was the Go Vote thing. But yeah, I won, and it was really fun. That was really, really cool honor to be able to, battle in front of all the radio people. Mr. Peter Parker was the MC for most of it, and it was really cool. It was really good.
Badass. Yeah.
Hopefully that footage will come out soon.
Yeah, make sure you post that. I want to see that. Frenzy's got your
definitely
your schedule. Looks like you've definitely got a busy year ahead of you.
Yeah, and I'm looking. I got some other things kind of bubbling right now that I'll be putting on there soon. I got to send out some more availability to the bookers and get some more gigs. But yeah, I try to stay really busy. It's hard trying to balance, family life and rap battles and comedy. And also I'm trying to, expand a little bit more with comedy and travel a little bit. So it's, but it keeps things interesting, and it's been going. It's been growing every year, stand-up wise, and battling. I'm kind of hoping that one of the other kind of leads to people saying, "Wow, he's a funny comedian. Oh, and he's a battle rapper," or vice versa. And then people really notice that I have these 2 different things that I'm trying to accomplish at the same time, and hopefully that leads to something even bigger.
Yeah. So have you done much traveling yet with the comedy side of it?
Yeah, a little bit. I just did a comedy festival I did one in Iowa City last year called Floodwater. I also did one I did a Longmont Comedy Festival in Longmont, Colorado, just outside of Denver. I actually got to do a show at the Broadway Comedy Club in New York City, which was really fun. That felt really good to do comedy in New York.
Yeah.
So a little bit, and for the most part, I do a little bit of Iowa. I've done Illinois. I've done North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin. I'll be out there on Friday. So I've done the Midwest. I'm just trying to spread out a little bit more this year. It's just tough, when my wife works a lot and I have 2 kids, so trying to schedule everything is challenging. But I want to pursue this and try to take advantage of every opportunity I can. So it's really fun to kind of get these new opportunities and see how they work out, especially in front of different crowds. Because Minnesota, I have some local jokes that I can do here that really do well, like about the Viking Stadium or about this or that, what I can't do other places. So it challenges me to try to, broaden my material for everybody. Because I was really nervous that New Yorkers were going to hate me, but I did really well at the show. It was really fun.
Cool. That's awesome.
New Yorkers like us Minnesotans. They think we're adorable.
Yeah.
They do. They really do. They're like, oh, Minnesota.
It's so endearing.
They kind of sound like us in a way.
In a way. But not really at all.
Right.
So you started out kind of doing actual straight up freestyle rap battles, and you were really into the rap thing. Were you trying to? Did you want to go off and actually be a rapper? Initially,
I did.
He wanted to be Eminem.
Were you actually writing songs and things like that?
I did. I wish I've been looking for. I had this old demo. I had a couple old demos that I had made, and they're probably awful. I'm sure they're awful. But they were stupid. They were really stupid. They were really funny. They were actually pretty funny. Now that I think about it. And I remember I had a song called Smack 'em and Yak 'em. That was a good one. I had one called Push Your Whip. It was about road rage. I thought that was good. And I just would take these beats that I found on the internet because it was cheap, or I would take popular instrumentals from hit songs and I would rap over those. Yeah. And that's what I would do for my shows. So I actually performed shows around the city, and I would perform at the Dinky Towner, was a really popular hip hop place in it was down in the basement of this bar in Dinkytown, Minneapolis. And that was I missed that place. It was open at 3 a.m, had great food late at night. And I used to perform there at Sting Night. I performed at quite a few different places. And I don't know, I just had a few little songs, and I started getting into it. And I think as I was in college at the time, and I had to I just had to finish school. It was taking a long time. So I was I need to stop doing this, and I need to get my degree, because if I spend all this money and I don't get a degree, I'm going to feel like an idiot. I don't want to drop out of college. So I finished that, and I kind of left rap behind. But that's once I got a job after college, that's when I thought, I kind of want to go back into it. So I haven't really pursued the idea of doing songs because I've just been so focused on stand-up along with battle rap, but I kind of miss it. I wish I had the demo. I'd send it to you, and you could say, ooh, this was... I don't know if you could hear any potential there. I don't know, but they were pretty silly. I thought they were funny. My voice, I can't imagine people dancing to my voice. That sounds ridiculous, but laughing at it, that's fine. That's
I wish
perfect.
we could get our hands on those demos.
Yeah, is it a cassette tape or is it a
so
CD
much money
or a floppy disk?
I used to print out. I used to floppy. There's Oregon Trail and Number Munchies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to burn these CDs, and then I would wrap them, and then I would print out this on computer paper, the label, and then I would fold up the paper with a piece of tape, and I would leave stacks at Cheapo or down in the valley at the little free flyer table, and people would just take them. And I heard people hey, I listen to that stuff. I was like, what do you think? They're like, yeah, I listened to it. They were trying to be nice to me, So I used to have these demos where I throw them out at shows, and it was fun. I mean, putting together, I think the problem I had is I didn't have a producer to work with me to say, oh, do this or don't do that. I was doing it all by myself. Mm-hmm. And I think you need someone to work with to help cultivate your style and what they think. Yeah, and I didn't really have that at that point. But it was fun. It was fun to learn some of that, the song structure, and just, I think if I worked at it a little bit more, I'd have been a lot better at it. But, maybe I'll get back into it again someday.
Yeah, maybe. Otherwise, we should for sure put out a casting call for not a casting call, but like a SOS. Do you have any of the old CD demos? Can you send them?
I'm pretty sure I know there's some people that have them. I'm gonna look them up. I know some people who had them on their computer, and I'll find them somewhere. I got so many CDs in my basement that are just burnt, and I'll find them and I'll send you guys a copy. I'll post them on Facebook or something.
Nice.
I'm not ashamed. I have no pride. I don't mind.
I think it'd be awesome.
I think
Hell
so,
yeah, I
it'd be
want to
cool.
hear that shit.
I like it.
So where do you want to see this rap battling stuff take you? Are you thinking that you're gonna eventually that's gonna kind of go to the wayside and you're gonna focus more on comedy, or what's the plan?
Well, I do kind of see my my focus shifting to comedy, just because comedy has such a career path, and I'm consistently making money. Not a ton of money, but I'm moving up the ranks of being from a host to a feature comedian to hopefully at some point being a headliner. And I also, there's just such a career path of what you can do next from being a comedian. The battle rap scene is so new still that there isn't that big of a career path. But I want to keep pursuing it, because if I let it go, I feel like that uniqueness that I have to my character and my talent disappears. And I think doing the rap battles keeps my creative juices kind of flowing, and that helps my comedy.
I agree.
So I'm kind of equally pursuing both, because there's a lot. I feel like I'm an underrated battle rapper from what's well known nationally, and I think if I could get on one of those bigger battle leagues like King of the Dot or Don't Flop, I think then people will recognize, who's this guy? And they're like, I've been here a long time. I think they would recognize that I have an entertaining style that's very unique and very different. So I'm going to continue to do both, and I'll never say that I'll give anything up. Obviously, if something crazy happened in my stand-up career, or I got some big opportunity and I had to focus on that, I would, of course. But I think I'll always come back to it, because I let it go for a long time, and I came back to battle rap. I think it's something that makes me stand out. And I just think it makes me a better comedian, too. It just helps me think of things in a different way than stand-up does. And that just, I think they kind of work hand in hand, that it just flexes a muscle, I think. And I just want to keep fit in that sense creatively.
Yeah, I think it's super unique, and I think that you're right. Like, I think that they do just kind of go hand in hand, and one helps the other, and having, doing both of them kind of makes you stronger in each aspect, maybe differently.
Push-ups.
But it's just kind of, I don't know. You just have kind of both sides of it.
It's just different. There's actually a lot of or I shouldn't say a lot. There's quite a few battle rappers that are looking to get into stand-up comedy, and I mean this by no offense to them, but when I see their stand-up act as battle rappers, they're probably way more well known than I am on a national or even international, sense. They have more views and just more recognition, more notoriety. But as a comedian, I can see them. They're still like really new open mic comedians. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that they're not funny or they're not good at it. They're just new. Like, I was like that too. Every comedian was very new and very green and didn't seem very comfortable on stage, maybe a little bit too vulgar, just kind of didn't understand it yet. And they haven't, caught their rhythm or found their voice. And so as a comedian, battle rapper comedian, I'm kind of racing to be like the first one. They're like, this guy's a battle rapper and a comedian? Wow. Because there's someone's going to do it, and that's going to be a big deal. And I think people are going to recognize, because people already recognize that comedy is a big deal. I think they're going to recognize that battle rap is a pretty unique talent, and that there's a lot of entertainment value into it. I'm surprised that some company hasn't found a way to make it a bigger industry. It's hard to monetize, and these battle leagues, they do it, but they do it all on YouTube or on pay-per-views. I mean, they've started to get things on TV a little bit here and there, but I think it's a big bubble that's going to blow up and get really big pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I want to be a part of it.
Get the right promoter and get the bodies in there, buying up tickets. You make some money doing that shit.
Yeah, they do. They sell tickets to live events. They sell pay-per-views, so you can watch it from home live when it's happening. And then they get YouTube revenue, but YouTube revenue is getting harder and harder to get. So there's a lot of things happening, and there's a lot of battle rappers that are getting some big opportunities, like the Wildin' Out with Nick Cannon. That show, there's quite a few battle rappers on there. There's been some. I think there's a battle rap movie coming out. It might be on Netflix. So there's a lot of potential there, but it's not as big as I think it should be. I do these battles in the city, and my wife, who works as an executive downtown Minneapolis, brings her friends. We're all like kind of yuppie people, and I love them. They're really nice, but they come to these rap battles, and they go, wow, that was really cool. That was really interesting. I would have never gone to that. And they enjoyed it. So I think there's a lot of potential for growth in that fan base there.
Yeah, you just need the right person promoting it. I honestly wasn't really that aware of it until we heard of you, and it wasn't really on my radar. I don't know about you, Frenzy, but
no, not at all.
I don't think there's probably just not enough people that even know that it's going on right now. It needs to be promoted better.
It is. It does, and also the battle rappers I think need to find. I try myself to be very. I try to connect with anybody. I try not to be too gangster or too mean. I like to be silly and funny, and as a battle rapper, and still kind of vulgar and kind of crazy because that's what it is. But I try not to alienate people. I try not to be misogynistic or homophobic because you don't want to turn people off right away. Because as comedians, people do that, and then people are just like, oh, I don't like this guy.
Right. I've noticed,
and as a battle rapper,
I've noticed like I don't remember who it was, but a few times where people would be saying shit about like your wife or your kids or something, and I'm like, whoa, dude, you don't necessarily need to go there, do you?
Yeah, it's kind of expected that people do, but I try not to do that. I try to be very superficial with all the things I say, but then I also am ready to like defend my wife and kids as I do as a battle rapper, but make it funny. But if you say those things,
when they keep going back to it over and over again, like, okay, how many fucking jokes do you have about my wife, dude? Move on to the next subject.
Right, and you get a lot of people that will be turned off by that immediately. And I'm not saying you need to appease everybody who's going to get offended, but I think as battle rappers, if you can't mature from that, you're going to alienate an audience, and you get to a point where people are going to say. People are going to hold you accountable for what you say more and more these days, I think.
Yeah. Well,
so I just try to...
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was done. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're done. Okay. I was just going to say that I feel like there's going to be people that are offended no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter if it's something that's totally, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that, or whatever. Like, I just feel like everyone's so touchy about things they can talk about and things they can say these days, where everyone takes it so personally, or like their opinion matters so much, where I feel like it'd be hard to try and navigate through all of that, where you just kind of have to say, well, I think this is funny, and if people think it is, awesome. If they don't, I guess that's how it is,
Yeah, that's I mean, with comedy and with battle rap. The thing with battle rap, and this is where I see the battle rappers trying to become comedians. Battle rap has a very specific fan base, and it's like people who like that kind of stuff, the very misogynistic, homophobic, racist kind of stuff. That's kind of the fan base, and if you're going to grow from that, you kind of have to move beyond that material. But stand up, if you do that these days, you're not going to be able to get away with it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be able to say whatever you want. I don't like people who get offended. I'd rather people just, if you didn't like what someone said, you just sit in your head and go, oh, I guess I didn't like that as much, but not be super outspoken about it. People who get offended, I wish they could just kind of at least think about what they're getting so upset about rather than lashing out.
Yeah,
but that's what's happening with. Yeah, they always it's got to be a big deal. And with stand-up, I mean, people will get really upset about it, and that's what's happening with the battle rappers. They think their fan base at an open mic is going to be the same as it is at a rap battle, and it's not. It's different. It's stand-up. It's like you don't know who's in the crowd. You have no idea. Sometimes you know what kind of gig it is. It's a certain kind of group or whatever, but you got to be ready for whatever you say, because who knows who's out there at that point. But battle rap, you kind of know who's going to be there at this point. the people my wife brings are like really they're like stick out like a sore thumb. So it's like that's why it's different. But the No Coast Battle League has a little bit more of a diverse fan base in that sense. They have like hipster people and it's creative people. It's just it's a lot more fun. They don't have the hardcore gangster rap fan base that most rap battle leagues do.
Okay.
I remember back in my like right around senior year of high school, right after high school, me and my buddies used to do that. We'd go and party, and we'd get to drink, and then we'd start doing these little rap battles just against each other, where we'd just roast each other. And we'd have some beat playing in the background, just wasted. And beforehand, I'd be like, okay, we're gonna say some shit about each other. That is, we're gonna insult each other. So that no hard feelings. This is just for the fun of it. So don't get all butthurt if I say some shit that you don't like. Mm-hmm. And okay, man. And we get to battling, and every single time. Especially my one buddy Josh, he would fucking get so pissed off every time. He would get butthurt every single time. Dude, can't believe you said that, man. Can't believe you said that. I'm like, dude, I told you. I warned you. Every time.
People, man, I've almost gotten in a fight. Yeah, that's happened quite a few times. I remember one because people didn't know I was from like the inner city. Like they thought I was just some goofy white boy from like the suburbs. And I went to a battle. It was at the Fifth Element, I think, and that's like the Ryan Sayers record store in Uptown. And I'm doing this battle against the guy, and I just roast him. And then he goes outside, and my other buddy's there, like smoking a cigarette, and he's kind of a thug-looking dude. And the guy comes out, he's all mad. He's like, man, I should whoop that white boy's ass. And my buddy's like, he like put out a cigarette and took his jacket. I was like, how about you whoop my ass? That's my boy. Like, and then the guy's like, man, whatever, and just left. Like, so he thought I was like some like lame dude, but he didn't know that I'm like actually from like the inner city. Like I wasn't, that happens. People get really upset, especially if you're roasting them like I do. Like people get pissed when you say stuff.
Mm-hmm. The Vesh is from the streets.
I mean, so that's where I got all the roasting from, because I'm from like the inner city. That's what we used to do all the time.
Yeah.
So there was crazy stuff. I used to be a weird, rap battles. There was all kinds of crazy stuff. Fights almost broke out. I had to stop bringing some people to rap battles because they would like get too fired up and like almost get into fights and things. And I remember I asked a buddy he was doing this rap battle, and I was like, hey, I'd like to sign up, and they were like, hey man, we don't want any problems at this rap battle. And I was like, yeah, I know, man. How do I sign up? They're like, we won't want any issues or fights. I was like, cool, can I just get in the rap battle? And they're like, we really don't want any problems. And then I
crazy
realized
white dudes up in here.
But it wasn't me. It was like my buddies that I grew up with. And I'm like, man, I can't tell them not coming. They're my pals, Because I'm a nice guy. I'm pretty cool. I don't want to, fight unless I have to. So I had to, I couldn't go do that battle because they were all worried that I was going to bring my friends and they were going to start a big thing. But then I had to look at my life and who I was hanging out with. I was like, ooh, I don't know if I should keep bringing people who are just going to cause fights all the time. That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, that was a good choice.
So you got a little something you want to lay down for us? Everybody wants to hear you spit a little something.
I don't have a lot of like raps that I wrote anymore. Like you want me to do one of my rap bits? Like one that's not on the video you probably haven't seen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do it.
Okay.
You need a beat?
So
Frenzy can lay down a beat for you.
No, I can't.
No, I don't want Frenzy to pass out or anything. I don't want to have been late. Let me think. Okay, so one of the things, like I grew up in North Minneapolis, and one of the scariest things about being a white boy in a black neighborhood was obviously the handshakes. Because brothers got a secret handshake. They don't want to share it with me. So every time I go up to greet one of my friends, I hold my hand out and I have these anxious thoughts race through my mind like a Twista rap song. Do you guys know who Twista is?
Oh yeah.
No.
He's like the fastest rapper of all time.
He's
like Guinness.
And shit.
He's awesome, right? He's amazing. You got to look up Twista. He's probably one of my favorite rappers of all time from Chicago. But I have these. When I reach out to shake someone's hand, I have these quick thoughts race through my mind like he was rapping at me, and I hold my hand out to one of my buddies. I say, do I shake it or do I dap it? Do I pound it? Do I slap it? Should I tool it? Should I tap it? Should I point it? Should I stab it? Should I hug him till I hug him, thug him, or just rub him?
it.
But then again, that might bug him. If you don't like it, well, then fuck him, dog. I'm sorry. Quick thumbs up. I was just playing with you, my brother. Not like brother like I'm your brother like I am myself. I'm a person of color. It's just a mention of our friendship and how well we know each other. Look, I'm really not trying to smother you. It's not like I'm a lover. You guys want to, I need when I say how do you know? Put up on that starting to buy you trying find it impossible. You honestly talk you probably because you're popular and I'm an here's what I want to do. I just wave to people now.
Do you need to be resuscitated or given oxygen?
I think I do. Yeah. I need an asthma pump or something. Whew.
Yeah, I should just bust out an oxygen mask at that point. Take a big deep breath and then hit the second part.
That's how I'm going to die on stage when I do that.
Yeah, those portable ones like that they use to climb Mount Everest with. Like it's just got the mask and like the little oxygen tube. You just like
just a little thing.
Just a little something.
Start introducing props.
Just a little hit. Get the oxygen.
I should, yeah. I need something else to stand out. I can't just be another white boy, doing stand up. I need you got to stand out somehow. That's why I'm rapping and shit. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got to get our hands on those songs.
I'll get them. I'll find them somewhere. I had a couple different demos I send out, and oh man, they're pretty awful. I know. Smack 'em and Yak 'em was one of them. Push Your Whip. Purple Hands was this one. What was the other one I had? Oh man, I had all kinds of. They were so stupid. Their songs were so stupid. I liked them.
Yeah, and you had fun doing it, right?
Fun. I did. I had paid for the studio time, and I wrote the rhymes, and it was all kind of jokes and stuff too. But it was fun, and performing is. It was a lot of fun, like being on stage, and I still get that same feeling doing stand up and doing rap battle. So I still kind of do the same type of thing. It's a high that you get, like an adrenaline. So that's why I chase it. And who knows? Maybe I'll find those CDs and I'll release them again and see what people thought. I think people would get a big kick out of them. They're kind of fun. And maybe I'll start working on some new stuff at some point when I get a little more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, even just for fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just some little ditties.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll send you some stuff that I have. I'll definitely. I had a freestyle that I did a while ago. I'll have to send you that video. It was for my buddy was doing this like 16 bar challenge, and those are kind of fun to do too. They've been doing a lot of those online lately.
It's multiple bar 16. You said 16, or is that the name of it?
16 bars is like a typical rap verse. So like a bar
gotcha.
is like
I'm
a
learning
bar
something.
is like da 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 da, and that's one bar, and then the other part is da 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 da. So like a rhyme is 2 bars. So 16 bars is typically a verse in a rap song.
Okay.
So that's where they talk about spitting the hot 16. That's what they mean.
They're not talking.
There are
about
not a lot of
some
rappers
hot
that do that
16-year-old
anymore.
chick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
No, they're not. Hopefully not. No,
Yeah, hopefully not.
I hope not.
Yeah. Ew.
We used to
Some
do
probably are, but yeah.
when I was in the Army. I was overseas in Iraq, and we had to find ways to entertain ourselves during downtime. And we used to get together these little rap battles. And I don't think there was a single black guy in our unit. There might have been one. There might have been one black guy in our whole company. So it was just a bunch of white dudes. And we'd get together in our barracks, and we put together this whole like American Idol style rap battle scenario. And we had 3 judges. And one guy would judge on like your costume, and the only thing we had to work with, everyone had to like come up with some original presentation of how they were dressed, but all we had to work with was army gear, So you'd be putting on random pieces of gear in some unorthodox fashion, just to look different. And then another guy would judge like how well you insulted the other guy, and I think somebody else would judge like, I don't know, how well you flowed, everything, how smooth it was, something like that. And we'd have like an instrumental beat playing, and we did like a tournament style thing, and we made this trophy of these. Over there we had these giant water bottles because you're constantly drinking water because you're constantly dehydrated. And these water bottles were, God, they had to have been like 60 some ounces. They're huge. And we took one of those, and we took the military duct tape. It was green, and we took a pair of headphones and duct taped them on top of this giant water bottle, taped it all together, and we called it "There's No Snare in My Headphones" trophy. And we do these rap battles, just ridiculous in our various, conglomerations of our uniforms, and do these rap battles just to pass time.
That's funny.
Do you have that? Do you have that trophy at home, Sarge?
Oh, I wish I did. I think I have videos somewhere of us doing them. We used to videotape it. That's where I got my nickname, DJ Goggles.
Because you made goggles.
I would wear my big ballistic goggles while I was rapping. That was part of my uniform. So everyone got their little rap names, and mine was DJ Goggles.
I like it. I was never a part of any rap battles. I grew up in South Minneapolis, so I used to just listen to stuff like while I was riding my bike on my headphones. So I became proficient. I memorized Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby, Tone Loc, Young MC, all those older 80s / early 90s rap songs. But I knew them all word for word. I could just bust them out.
Do you still? If you hear them, do you remember them all?
Yeah, I'm pretty close.
You still know Ice Ice Baby.
I still know that one.
Honest.
No.
All right, stop.
I'm not going to
collaborate and
listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flowing like a harpoon, daily and nightly. Will it ever stop?
You gotta get it started, and then she won't stop.
And I'm good. Yeah, that's
it. We do it with my son. We say, "Stop, cooperate, and listen." We tell him when we want him to do something. It's really fun.
I love it.
Clean up your room and listen.
Yeah, I love it.
It's cool to have the new throwback stations because you drive around and you can hear these old songs. And I'm like, oh, my son's name's Dario. I'm like, Dario, listen to this, and he's like, I don't know, he doesn't care. I'm like, it's Jay-Z, and he's like, yeah, it's fun for me to go listen to the old classics because the new stuff. You know how you get to? I think I read an article. It was 32 is the age you get to when you don't like new music anymore, or you just don't appreciate it. And sense. And that's kind of where I was, where I try to tell myself, there's new rappers or new stuff that I don't really get. I'm like, I don't know. And I try not to be the person who's like, oh, that sucks. That's dumb. They're dumb. I just go, I'm just too old for it. I can't get my mind in the right place to, some of it I like, but some of them this is dumb. But I'm like, well, obviously, if people like it, it's not that dumb. So it's probably me. So I just try to understand.
There's a lot of shit out there, and in the whole kind of feel, the whole vibe to music nowadays is so different. It's definitely had an actual change compared to what we listened to when we were growing up, in our teens and 20s. But some of the music is good. I agree. There is some stuff that really just kind of gets stuck in your ear. It's kind of like junk food, It's catchy and it tastes really good, but it doesn't. Pretty soon you're hungry.
And it's not going to last.
Yeah, it doesn't last. Exactly.
It's not going to be a.
It sounds really badass at first, and it's really catchy, and you sing it over and over. It's stuck in your head. But after a week, you're like, "Fucking hey, I'm sick of this song. This is dumbest song."
And there's songs even on throwback that I'll hear, and I'm like, "Oh, I hate this song." And then people are like, "This is a huge song." I'm like, "But I heard it so much, I just can't do it anymore. It's done."
Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's something to say about all the technology that they have now to change people's voices and adding in instruments
how often are instruments even used these days?
I don't know. I'm a huge Nirvana fan. I'm a Rube, but if you take him with a guitar and at just whatever any live show that he did, he sounds just how he does basically on an album that they record in the studio because he sounds the same.
Yeah, that's what I like. Yeah, people can't. I don't think live performances. I think it becomes this whole big thing rather than just the music. It's my wife. She worked in the music industry for a while, and we'd go to a lot of concerts. We ended up going to a lot of country, big country concerts. And I don't dislike country. It took me a while to get into it, but I kind of like it. But some of these shows were just ridiculous. I was like, they were just such big. Extravagant shows rather than just play the song and the guitar. Let's just hear it,
Like a big
production. So there's a lot of that, yeah.
Yeah. Plus you have to spend $300 a ticket or whatever to go to. It's I don't. Not only do I get to go listen to this stuff, but I have to pay an arm and a leg
big
to
old
go.
money grab.
Yeah.
It's so much money. That's what it all has become.
Give me your fucking money. Listen to this shit I'm putting out. Give me your money.
Hey, I remember I used to listen to Boyz II Men. They put on a free concert at the Minnesota State Fair like 2 years ago. Just show up.
Really?
You can have them sing "End of the Road" to you. It's free.
Oh God, really? You think
Yeah.
we could get them to
That's
come
pretty
over here
cool.
and sing to us?
Maybe we should call them.
They're probably not doing anything.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think they're out there. They've been touring with like the Backstreet Boys or something.
Or
Boyz II Men.
Casey and JoJo, maybe.
Oh,
I want to say it was Casey
I
and
love
JoJo.
Jodeci's amazing.
Yeah.
oh
I also
shit.
want to say Paul Abdul's doing a little comeback tour, which I don't know how that's gonna pan out. I'm assuming not
He
very
had a
good.
couple little songs. Rush,
Oh,
hurry.
yeah.
I remember that one.
Opposites Attract with
She
the
had a couple.
cartoon
I had a
cat.
crush on her in like third grade.
Oh, yeah. That with the cartoon cat was dope. Too.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so funny.
I always find it funny when I'm like driving and I hear like, see him live at Treasure Island Casino or Mystic Lake, and I'm like, ooh, that's probably. They're probably getting paid good money, and there's a lot of people go to those shows. But I'm always like, ooh, the casino. Like I play the casino. I'm nobody, like. So that's kind of where you get. I'm sure once you're kind of past all the stardom and all the hits, you
Yeah.
still make good money out there.
Well, yeah.
And you
Plus, they
still
get
kind
old.
of a draw.
Yeah, they get old. I remember I saw it was Def Leppard, Styx, and Tesla at the State Fair 2 years ago. And I mean, it was fine because they play the songs that like you can sing along to and like everybody knows. But they're old, like they were tired halfway through.
Yeah,
Like they were like,
Dylan's
Dylan's
old, man. Dylan's really old.
yeah, really old. I don't even know if he's.
But he's
what
still out
been
there.
doing. Yeah, he's out there. He just creeps up and shows up every now and then.
I used to sell cars, and a guy who I sold cars with told me the story. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Duluth. There's a dealership out there called Krenzen.
Okay.
It's just an auto dealer, and he was telling me about this story about this new guy who's like a new car salesman, and all these old car salesmen. And there's a blizzard one day, and like you can't even see outside the windows. And this guy shows up, and he's looking at these Mustangs parked outside the auto dealership, the Krenzen. And you can barely see the guy through the window because it's a blizzard. And all the old car salesmen are like, "Hey, you newbie, you got to go talk to him because as a car salesman, if someone comes on the lot, you got to up them, you got to go talk to them."
Mm-hmm.
And so the new guy gets on his jacket, his boots, his snow pants, his hat, his gloves, gets all bundled up, goes out there, and they're like laughing at him. The old car salesman laughing at him, just shaking this guy's hand, talking about the cars in the middle of a blizzard. And then the guy leaves, and the old car salesmen are all laughing like, he's wasted his time. And the new guy comes in, they go, yeah, so what was that guy talking about? He goes, that guy's Bob Dylan, man. He's bought those 2 cars. His lawyer's coming to buy him. He's going to keep him in his parents' house. Like, it was one of the best stories I ever heard about Bob
That's
Dylan.
awesome.
I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah. He's always been kind of known as being like a curmudgeon, like kind of cranky, and like I think his daughter graduated from I don't know if it was Hamlin or McAllister or somewhere in St. Paul, one of those colleges, and he went to her graduation ceremony, but he just kind of like stood back and like hid behind, not hiding, but just kind of stood back and was like, let her kind of have her moment, because it was her that was, having the special experience of graduating and stuff, like kind of stood back behind a tree and like, I picture him like leaning up with his leg up, smoking a cigarette.
In the tree? Wasn't he like up in the tree?
I think he was in the tree, like feeding monkeys bananas or something.
He was hiding in the foliage
of
the tree. Yeah,
but I mean, how hard would that be? Have like Bob Dylan as your dad, and people are like, "Is your dad coming today?"
Right?
Oh wow, you graduated college. That's really hard. Is your dad gonna be here?
Are you having an after party?
To be known, her name is Bob. Her name is she's only been called Bob Dylan's daughter.
Yeah.
She's Barb Dylan. Bob Dylan. So it sounds like Bob Dylan. Barb Dylan.
Yeah.
Barb Dylan.
Yep. So, but he's another one of our Minnesota claims to fame, like Prince.
Mm-hmm. And the Vesh.
Yeah.
And the Vesh.
And and soon to be the Vesh. One day they're gonna say, "Man, that Minnesota's produced some talent. They had Prince, Bob Dylan, that Vesh, man. That Vesh was just amazing."
Yeah, the Vesh. We also have coming up in May. We have Mary Mack, also another.
Oh, I love Mary. She is so funny. She's wonderful. She's super nice too. I actually did that Running Aces show with her
nice.
not too long ago, a few months back. Yeah, she's great. She's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. I heard her on K-Fan one morning, for the first time. I'm like, oh my god, that accent. She's got a thicker accent than we do. We have to get her on the show. I'm like, Frenzy.
She
has
a really thick accent.
Yeah.
But that's her. Like, that's
I know,
her.
it's
People
awesome.
think that it's like a stage thing. Like, but no, it's her. She's that person, and she's super sweet, and her husband Tim is super nice. I mean, they're wonderful. So, yeah, they're just great. It's fun doing shows with them. They're just really, really, really nice. But that's it, man. That's Mary. Like, it's not an act. It's really who she is.
That's even better.
I'm super excited.
Even better.
And then we've got Darren Chase too coming up. He's from Minnesota originally. He's out in LA right now.
Yeah.
And then
I've heard some people talk about him. I don't know him, but I've heard people talk about him.
Finally getting some Minnesota guests.
He's doing Dangerfields and Shakopee, I think, the weekend that we have him on.
Okay. Well,
I'll have to see, because I'm doing Dangerfields in April.
Well,
yeah. So
then
maybe I'll meet him there. Maybe I'll be his feature. So
was Frank Roche from Minnesota then?
No, I think he's from Michigan.
Okay.
Maybe.
He's doing Bent Station.
Yeah, and then we've got Heatbox. Have you heard of the musician Heatbox?
I know the name. Yeah.
Okay.
It's that "Bitches from the Milky Way" song.
It's like our favorite.
I love that song.
We have him on too.
From the Milky Way. Damn bitches from the Milky Way.
So we've got some Minnesota people, and then Josh Denny too lived in Minnesota for a little bit. Our guest that we had last week.
Josh Denny, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of, I think, left as I started, but I heard a lot about him. I know he did a lot of stuff with a buddy of mine, Daryl Horner and Kevin Kraft, those guys. So I know they used to tour together. But yeah, I see that stuff that Josh Denny's doing with that TV show. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, he's a funny stand-up too.
But the cool thing is now we have chatted with you and you live here, we can pick out a time to go see you.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely come and see you. When's your next thing in the area?
He's got
Dangerfield is coming up.
I think April is good.
And yeah, I'll have some other stuff. I'll probably try to find a date to go to the House of Comedy at some point, and I'm usually at Acme on Monday nights. So I have to book some new stuff beyond April coming up here, but I'll let you guys know for sure.
Let us know next time you're planning on hitting Acme on Monday night. We'll come out and we'll fucking clap and cheer and all that shit.
Yeah, that'd be great. You know, I am also going to be there's a new comedy club that opened in St. Paul. It's called Baddies Comedy Club, and it's actually some buddies of mine that just opened it just like a month ago. And it's like the first urban comedy club, black-owned comedy club in the Twin Cities, and they got great comedians. It's 3 comedians that started it. My buddies Bruce, Brandon, and Pierre. So I'm going to be out there pretty soon. I don't know what date yet, but they're definitely they're doing great things. They got improv stuff going on Sundays. They got shows on Fridays and Saturdays. Bring a lot of urban comics up from like Chicago. So they've been doing a lot of big things. I want to give them a shout out. They're kind of achieving their dreams, starting their own comedy club. I'm real proud of them. I'm really excited for
That's awesome.
what they're doing.
Baddies? How do you spell
Baddies,
that?
like Baddies.
Okay.
I think it's on Robert Street in St. Paul. I haven't been there yet. They just opened it like a couple weeks ago, but they have some great people. Actually, they've done shows over at the 4th Street Saloon in North Minneapolis and the Capri Theater. Like, I've done a lot of shows with them that they've promoted, and they throw a great show, and they bring a lot of really cool comics into the city. I actually did a show with.
I think somebody brought that. I think somebody brought this club to our attention not that long ago. I can't remember who it was, but that sounds familiar, really familiar.
Yeah, I don't know what the domain name is, but I think they have a website, and they're amazing. They do a lot of fun shows. I've done a lot of different gigs with those guys. They're a lot of fun to work with.
So their website is www.baddies, or you can also find them on Facebook at Baddies Comedy.
I assume so.
Yeah, she's looking it up now. Frenzy's very good at finding info.
Oh, nice. But yeah, definitely want to look at that and the shows they have booked. I'll be out there at some point, but those guys are great. They're so much fun. They put on a great show.
Somebody sent their name our way. I can't remember who it was, but I've heard of those guys before.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Cool. We'll have to check that out. All right. Well, where can all our listeners and your fans find you online?
Well, my Twitter is at Angelo_Vescio, and my website is AngeloVescioComedy.com. I have a lot of I do a lot of rap battles for No Coast, so No Coast Raps on YouTube will have a lot of my battles. They might even have a playlist of just my battles. All of my battles are on a website called Verse Tracker, which is like that's the rap battle. Excuse me, that's the rap battle like website that has all the battles and all the rappers. You can look them up and look at you can look at everything they have. It's a pretty cool website. So under versetracker.com, the Vesh is where you can find almost all of my battles, back to Scribble Jam, to Grind Time, to No Coast, to everything.
Okay, cool.
So that's where you can find most of my stuff.
And Gesundheit, by the way, because you were sneezing, right? Just a little bit ago. I always have to say that.
We have a big doubleheader tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
What we got tomorrow, Frenzy?
Ooh, we got Johnny Pemberton, stand-up comedian, and the son of Zorn. Actually,
Yeah.
the Leguan is the son of Zorn on the TV show.
Have you seen that show?
I haven't seen it yet. No, I've seen a little bit of it. I think it was
Fox.
on, but I haven't watched it a lot.
When the first episode I watched, I was like, this show's weird, but then it kind of hooks you in. It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I like it now. It took me like
It's
2
like a
episodes,
cartoon character in a real world, right?
Yeah. It's who plays Zorn? Jason
Sudeikis plays Zorn, and it's kind of like He-Man mixed with like just someone super
Like
naive
Archer.
and kind of
Archer. He reminds me of that Archer character.
He-Man and Archer mixed together,
Oh,
I guess.
okay.
So yeah,
And then we've got Sam Tripoli as well tomorrow
evening.
as our second one. And we also have Andrew Steiner, one of our friends who is part of the Weird Ball podcast. He is our co-host for Johnny's episode.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Cool. And we're trying to get something in the works, possibly doing a live show this month.
Yes, with you, Mr.
That's the plan.
Vesh.
Yeah.
At Libertine in Uptown.
It's still in the works. We're working out all the details, but that's the goal. And hopefully,
That's a cool spot,
we'll be
Libertine.
doing a live
Yeah.
show.
It's pretty much we can talk about it later, but it's pretty much done. We just have to figure out what we want to do and how we want to promote it and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's exciting. I like it.
All right. Well, Angelo, the Vesh, thanks for sharing your evening with us tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
And thanks for having me. Thanks so much. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And it's supposed to be 60 on Sunday, so boom, that's awesome.
Boom.
Look, I've enjoyed dissing you, shitting and taking a lyrical piss on you, and I told it all the truth. I didn't say any shit I didn't do that isn't true. Now, I love gangster rap. It's the only rap I listen to, but I don't like disrespecting women. Oh, money, but I just made a bitch out of you. Let's go!
Okay, that was Angelo Vescio, comedian and battle rapper.
The Vesh.
The Vesh. That's a pretty cool guy. He led us into the world of the battle rapping business, and he's been pretty successful at it. See, who do we got coming up? We got Sam Tripoli and Johnny Pemberton, which by the time people are listening to this, we'll have probably already done that episode. The double header. But look into next week. Monday, the 6th of March, we have comedian Brad Scott. He's one of the hosts of the Showdown podcast. A very, very good podcast that I listen to myself.
Me too.
Then the very next day, the 7th, we got Frank Roche, another comedian, and he's a writer. He wrote some kind of movie that... Who is starring in that? Ethan Hawke? Is that who it was?
Maybe.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
Or it was your mom. I don't remember.
Yeah. And then the very next day after that, Wednesday the 8th, we have Nicole Appelian from season 2 of Alone on the History Channel.
Yes.
And so she's a pretty badass lady. She survived out there on season 2 for a long time. She made it out there quite a while. One of the longer ones. So we're looking forward to talking to her and hearing all about her time on the island.
Yeah.
Should be fun. All right. So you can listen to all our upcoming episodes and past episodes on YouTube, iTunes, Spreaker, on our website. What's our website, Frenzy?
www.sargeapproved.com.
Mm-hmm. You can check out our guest calendar and see all our past guests and our upcoming guests, and listen to all our past episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So like it, follow it, subscribe to it, do all that stuff.
Listen to it.
Just look up Sarge Approved. You'll find us.
Mm-hmm.
And mosey on over to National Survival Center and get yourself some badass gear. Hand-tested, top-of-the-line stuff. It's going to be way cheaper than you're going to find in the big box stores. Free shipping on pretty much all their gear. And, yeah, get yourself prepared because the zombies are coming.
Yeah, they're totally coming.
Go to nationalsurvivalcenter.com or survivedon'tsuffer.com. That's their motto. Survive, don't suffer. All right, we're going to play this episode out with a song by, I know I'm going to mess up the pronunciations, Yshwa, Y-S-H-W-A, and the song is called Battle Rappers.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Later, fuckers.
Push the button to play. Brag about blunting and you're puffing away. You got nothing to say. All you do is throw shade. Why you up in the way? Why you fucking the game? 16 tracks, ain't got nothing to say. Knew something was fake. New age mama got nothing but praise. Going, every rapper is a battle rapper. Every battle is a battle lost. Every rapper got a tabernacle. Every queen's got a Babylon. Every rapper is a battle rapper. Every battle is a battle lost. Every rapper got a tallywhacker. Every queen has got a Babylon. Ask any dude if you wanna know. Ask any who's who if they copping it. Yeah, remember who would've thought of this? 24/7 and they ever monotonous. 92 in my chronic shit. Never seen so many. Tell them who Spartacus is. Tell them who is a part of it. No such fam can't see in the art of it. Yeah, I'm a modern anomaly. If we talk lyrically, I got a monopoly. If we talk spiritually, I got the prophecy. I'm doing it consciously, accomplish if I can possibly. Only smoke quality broccoli. Follow the policy, trash your shit with no apology. Spell it out with no apostrophe. Big grown man, Mob D, acting like they prodigy. Push the button to play. Brag about blunting and you're puffing away. You got nothing to say. New age mama got nothing but praise. So going, every rapper is a battle rapper. Every battle is a battle lost. Every rapper got a tabernacle. Every queen has got a Babylon. Every rapper is a battle rapper. Every battle is a battle lost. Every rapper got a tallywhacker. Every queen has got a Babylon. I only do this for the music. I'm talking living, I think giving is useless. In the beginning when the sinning was ruthless. Nowadays just loose lips and cruise ships. I think the winning is foolish. This ain't a game, why you losing to prove it? Yo, why you doing the movements? Same old shit, call it new and improvement. You ain't cool with the cool kids. You ain't Becky with the good hair. I ain't pressed with your new kicks. Walk a mile while you stood there. You stood there. Push the button to play. Brag about blunting and you're puffing away. You got nothing to say. New age mama got nothing but praise. Going, every rapper is a battle rapper. Every battle is a battle lost. Every rapper got a tabernacle. Every queen's got a Babylon. Every rapper is a battle rapper. Every battle is a battle lost. Every rapper got a tallywhacker. Every queen has got a Babylon.